process. This is watercolor paper. I'm going to use this stamp and these two stamps and maybe one of these critters, and then some of these are like flowers and leaves and things that I'm going to use. And I have these watercolor markers that I'm going to use. So we'll see how it turns out. Okay, I have this on a little block, a little clear block, and you just take your pen and go over it. Sideways, you don't do it like this. And I'm gonna press it on there. And then you take your paintbrush, and you can, this is watercolor, so you can, it makes it go, as you can see what it's starting to do. It's starting to have the color go out a little bit. I'll finish that and show you the next step. All right, see, this is finished, and see how I put like a little shadow at the bottom, like the sun's coming down and making a little shadow kind of right there. And then I'm going to use some Post-it note and stamp this again so I can mask it over. So when I put the pumpkins on, well, you'll see. I covered it over with a Post-it note, so when I put the pumpkins on, the pumpkins won't cover over the basket. Okay, these pumpkins don't look like much of nothing yet, but what I'm gonna do is I have this artist palette, and I put some of the orange here and use my paintbrush, and then I'm gonna paint in the pumpkins. Okay, there's the pumpkins. If you ever want to try this, it's like AI stands for Artist Impressions, and they have videos every Wednesday called Watercolor Wednesday on YouTube that tells you how to do this stuff. And then I like the Marvy Le Plume markers. They have like a pointy end on, so I can get it in the picture, like a big end on one end and a pointy end on the other, where you can make finer lines, which is what I did to draw the lines on the pumpkin. So let's see what else I want to do with this. Next, I made a little kitty cat laying there. I put some bushes in here. You stamp them and then you watercolor them in, and some grass, and then I'm going to show you the difference. See how that's like really light when I stamped it, and then I'm going to watercolor it in with the paintbrush and some water, and you'll see it start standing out. So you can see how much better that is after I add a little water and a little color, more color to it. I use my paint palette to just add in some color to the ground and to the sky. Not sure I like this yet. Seems to need something else, so we'll play with it a little more. Because the watercolor paper is so heavy, you have to use this double-sided sticky tape to stick it down to your card. This is going to be my base. Put like a little polka dot thing on it, and then I'm going to stick the other thing down, and then we'll see. I cut it down a little bit. I thought it was too big, so we'll see how it all turns out. Well, this isn't the best one I ever made. I don't like the ground at all, but and the pumpkins seem too big for the basket, and the cat's too small, so I don't know. I don't like this one very well, but just to give you an idea how to do it. But if you really want to learn how to do this stuff, go to Artist Impressions Watercolor Wednesday, and it'll tell you how to do it correctly.